Now I want to talk about a couple of nuances with pretty much every single parametric feature ever. So I've created this measurement. This measurement has geometry associated to it. Now, if I try to delete that, it deletes the measurement. I don't want to delete the measurement. Maybe I just want to get rid of the line. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to double click on that line or the measure or the feature in the tree and modify the feature where it says create geometry. Turn that off. It's simple as that. Once I select OK, notice the line now goes away. Easy as that. All right, so I'm going to show an arc. Now, I'm going to double click on my measurement. This is another edit that I can perform. Notice I have object number 1, object number 2. Object number 2 is this guy. Object number 1 is this guy. So if I click on object number 1 and tell the system, tell NX that, well, I don't want the line to be object number 1 anymore. I want the arc to be object number 1. Again, it's associative, so it goes to the object that I newly selected. This is wonderful. Maybe you have formulas written based off of a measurement. You have a new item to measure to. That type of thing allows you to do it. Very, very quick and easy. Select OK. Now that measurement is associated to those two elements. So I'm a huge fan of this measuring tool. It's extremely useful. And once you understand the basics of it, I still catch myself doing things because I'm so used to old measuring tools. It's just the nature of it. I've been on NX for almost 27 years. So let me go ahead and hide the line. And now I'm simply displaying those two elements. Now, if I double click on that, I have various options. Notice I have minimum distance. I have maximum distance. So these are the 2 points furthest away on those elements. I also have minimum distance to arc extension. So what it's saying is it's extrapolating that arc, right, extending that arc. So if the arc was over somewhere else, let's do this. Take this. I'm just going to move it. I'm going to move that object. I'm going to go somewhere over here, like that. Notice the dimension, that measurement, is measuring to the extension of the arc. Okay, so that minimum distance to arc extension is nice. So it's finding, basically in this case, in essence, like a tangency type of thing. So if I go maximum distance again, you'll notice it's these 2 points. If I go minimum distance, it's to the existing arc, not the extension of the arc. All right, well, that's great and all, but you know what I want to do? I'm going to take my measurement and I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to tell it object number 1 is going to go back to, right? I don't want that object as my object number 1. I want this as my object number 1. Now, because I'm using a line, notice I have minimum distance, I have maximum distance. Okay, so that's my maximum distance. It's 2 furthest points away on those elements. If I go to minimum distance perpendicular, I have also maximum perpendicular. So based off of the type of geometry that you are measuring, like line to arc, you have different options inside of these little menu pop-ups. So again, if you're not seeing what you want, it's because you do not have the correct things selected, or you do not have the correct option in the menu selected. Okay, so again, this tool is expansive. It does nearly infinity things. It's extremely, extremely powerful. And I do not imagine most people are fully utilizing all of the I don't fully utilize the capabilities of this tool. But it does extraordinary things. It's very easy to do it once you understand what the menu is telling you, what the interface is telling you. Okay? So going back and forth and modifying is pretty easy. Okay, this is object number 2. Maybe I don't want object number 2 to be the spline. I can deselect. I want this as my object. Now notice this is my maximum perpendicular. It's offset, so it's doing that for me. And notice I have a bunch of additional options in here. So again, based off of what I have selected is what I'm going to see in this window. Minimum distance to arc extension. So you got that. Minimum perpendicular to arc extension. So this is a perpendicular measure. It's not coming up with anything because the line actually intersects it. Okay, that type of thing. Maximum perpendicular, minimum perpendicular. So you have, in this case, 6 or 7 different options, depending on the items that you have selected. Okay.